We might bring some sheep and put on here, or tank sensors. So I've only got one on those two tanks at the moment, but well, she'd be about 12 months old now, I think. Now they got to sort out their differences again, even though they've, I don't know, I nerd out on that a little bit, I suppose. Something I'm a bit interested in. Well, good morning everyone. What is going on today? I've just come out to have a look at some, we put the first cross lambs, ewe lambs and Polled Dorset ewe lambs, if I can get my words out, on the loose in here. To chew it off because, well, we thought about getting another cut, but thought it was more useful putting some young sheep on here to grow, and they are going really well by the look of it, which is good to see. Pretty happy with them. Well, there's one merino there by the look of it. What are you doing in here? Yes, I just come down here. Dad said the other day, last week, that there was a couple that had crawled out into the next paddock, but I'd say they realised that the feed out there wasn't as good as in here, and they've crawled back in because I can't see where they've been getting out or any sheep in other paddocks. So I'd say they woke up to themselves, because I think I'd rather be on here than anywhere really. So what's on the agenda today? I've got to shift some sheep this morning. I'll go out and just check the AIUs. They're still probably a week away, but just make sure that there's nothing. I moved them a couple of days ago, so just make sure that there's nothing funny going on out there. They were bagging up pretty well the last time, a couple of days ago, so they're not far off. We'll do that then. I've got a sprayer paddock that we're going to put into some pasture. Dad's away on a contract job this morning, sowing some ryegrass, and then yeah, he's going to come back and sow a little paddock of pasture. Try and get some of these paddocks that have been too wet the past couple of years, trying to get them back into something a bit more permanent, because we've got a lot of crop paddocks at the moment, like a lot of annuals, and we're lacking in the improved pasture side of things. So get a few more into that, and that'll be good. We generally do it sort of this time of year, a little bit later when it starts to cool down, because there's less weed pressure then. And hey, it's worked. Dad's been doing it for a long time, and it works for us. So, and there's actually a little bit of rain forecast for the end of the week, which would be lovely, would be spot on. And obviously this paddock, as I said, has been too wet, so we want to get it in now while it's dry, because this time of year when it's cooling off, if we do get 20 mils of rain, we might not get back on it. It's like, you know, till spring again. So because everything takes so long to dry out. Now, even though it's meant to be 20 today, the rest of the week's sort of 14, 15 degrees. So starting to cool down, unfortunately. But I'm a warm weather person. I don't like the cold much. I'd much rather, well, spring and autumn are great times of year. Just sort of pretty mild and not too hot. But I've actually got to, if you can hear that, I got to replace the brake pads on this ute, so I ordered them. They got here last week, so it's Monday today, so I might do that as well. So I've just come out. This is a paddock where this isn't going into pasture. There was too many weeds in here, but we spray fallowed it over. We'll spray fallow it over winter, and I've just come out to see what the grass growth is like in here. Might have to put some sheep on here just to keep it suppressed, so we don't have to probably spray it sort of you know, a little bit later on, sort of June. And then that'll nearly get us through to August, September, when we put in the summer crops then. Or September, I should say, because it'll be too cold for most. Like, do it once in June, and then just once before we sow it. Or even if we keep stock on it and keep it short, we might only have to spray it before we sow it. You know, by spray fallowing it over winter, and by not letting the grass grow, you can consolidating that moisture underneath. And so I suppose it's fine if you're getting plenty of moisture, which you never know, do you? You just don't know. I mean, look at the start of this year. End of last year, started this year. October last year was terrible. It was looking horrible, and they were talking no rain till February, March, and then November. We ended up getting half of our rainfall, you know, over half of our rainfall in November, December. So who do you trust? Like, you just gotta, you can't really make decisions based on forecast, really, which makes it very hard. If we can't predict the future if we can't predict the weather now, like, you know, with the technology, it's, you know, it must be a very hard thing to do. So will I ever trust the weatherman? Don't know. It is a hard one, but yeah, so we'll see. We will. I might bring some sheep. I know it doesn't look like there's a lot of feed in here, but it's actually quite good sheep feed, and you can see there's clover and stuff through it too, which is about as good as you can get. So we might bring some sheep and put on here. Something not too, you know, obviously not twin lambs leading up to, not the stud ewes that are just about the lamb, but something that doesn't need a massive amount of feed. I thought I was in trouble then. Don't ask me why I decided to drive through that, because I don't have an answer. Stupidity is what it was. We nearly got stuck, Maggie. Just gonna move them over these merinos. Do a different paddock. They've just been here since scanning last week, just for a few days. Girls, go back. Push them up. Another bent gate from bulls. Buggers. Sit, sit. Carly, Maggie, sit. Wait, sit. No, always one. You terror. They're fit anyway. So if you're wondering why these are not full wool and not short wool, it's because these merinos we shear every 8 months. Can be a little bit annoying because they're always sort of out of line with everything else, but off you go, ladies. So maybe something just worth mentioning. I thought, see those tanks there, they sort of feed troughs way down all on this block here, pump out of those dams obviously, but something that we installed last year, which I found to be incredibly useful, is remote tank monitoring, I think you call it, or tank sensors. So I've only got one on those 2 tanks at the moment, but just means that wherever I am, doesn't matter if I'm here or 10 hours away, I can pull up this app and check the level of the tank. So you can see it hasn't really changed past 3 days because there's nothing really using it. So it's at 48% at the minute. It'll send me an alert when it gets below 25%, so I know that, you know, I need to come up and pump some water up. It'll tell me when it's full, and it'll tell me when, if they're suddenly just all of a sudden drops from 90 to 30%, it'll send me an alert saying there could be a leak somewhere. You know, there's a tap or a pipe that's burst or something as well. They've got batteries in them, there's no solar on them. They got batteries, and I think they last sort of 6 years. So it takes a measurement every 15 minutes, I think it is, but then it only transmits to the phone every 6 hours, you know, unless there's a leak. Yeah, it's proven to be very good. I think we'll be installing some on some other tanks as well. Go get a drink, Maggie. That'd be chilly this morning, I reckon. Dogs, hop up. Hop up. So that's the paddock straight below us there that I've just got to go and spray. And it's annoying because it's 8 hectares and 700 litre tank on the boom spray, so you get we put it out at 100 litres a hectare water rate, and so you just don't have enough to finish it. But maybe I'll just slow the rate down a little bit just so I don't have to go back and get 100 litres. It's a pain in the neck. It'll be good to have it into permanent. Maybe that's what I did last time, actually, come to think of it. It's been a while since it's been sprayed because it's been too wet. So I just bought out, you can see I got some loose hay. These are the twinner stud ewes. I just bought out some of that lick that we've used for a few years now. You would have seen it if you've been watching for a while. But I put it out here, but the stud ewes have never really gone for it. Whether that's because, I'm assuming it's because they're usually on really good feed and they just don't feel like they need it. But the crossbreds always go for it, and it would make sense because they're not, you know, they're not on poor quality pasture, but it's not as good as the stuff that the stud ewes are on, like ryegrass and generally fairly new standard improved pasture. So I don't know, we'll put it out here, and if they eat it, then then they obviously think they need it, but if they don't, then we know that that seems to be the case anyway. They only eat it if they think they need it. Easy. It's only 9 o'clock in the morning. Hey? You're knackered already. You're not that old, dog. Carly would be just about, well, she would be. She'd be about 12 months old now, I think. She's going through that phase where she's being a teenager, a little bit arrogant. Listens most of the time. There we go, it's all hooked on. So I'll just duck out to the paddock on the bike and shift there's a few sheep on there that have got the gates open between two paddocks. So I'll just go and shift them off, and I'll just double check to see what grasses and stuff are in there, and make sure I don't need anything more than just Roundup. Make sure there's nothing too hard to kill in there. There shouldn't be, so it was sprayed. Dad sprayed it, it might have been 6 or 8 weeks ago. And then, so this is sort of just the second knockdown, so it shouldn't need much, but we'll just go and check. Good job I didn't go spraying. Looks like there's a bit of a shower about to come over. I'll be honest, I didn't actually see that on the forecast. It looked pretty dry. Forecast obviously changed because I looked at it a couple of days ago, and it's meant to be all dry, but you might be able to see on the camera there's definitely a bit of a shower coming over this way. Not much in it, but just enough to be annoying. Settle the dust for half an hour. I've just bought some lucerne hay out and a feeder out to the sale rams. So these are 2024 sale rams. Just to keep them going a bit. Now that we're going into winter, we don't want them to slip. It's on the windscreen. Come on. Hello, sir. Please hurry up. Just come out. There's 3 bulls in this paddock that I put the hay feeder in for the rams. Before, they've got the runner 2 paddocks, and I'm just going to shift them up to above the other paddock. Number 1 away from, there's a few cows down below me here, and number 2 because they will just stand and gorge themselves at the feeder, and they really don't need it. So look at these 2 buggers. They're gonna fight and carry on now, because this young fella decided he wanted to get into the creek paddock there and a bit closer to the ladies. Now they got to sort out their differences again, even though they were together a week ago. Go away. Don't. Go away. Hey. Go on. You go through the gate and Buster will follow you. Come on, lad. Too quiet. I've literally had to push him halfway up here. Comes the other 2. You live with each other. Stop it. God. Go on. You need to go as well, sir. Come on. Go. Just got to get these few rams out of here, and then we can close the bulls in here. They're looking pretty good. We generally want them. We generally want the rams, you know, looking well and healthy going into winter, because I'll sort of get to winter, and because it gets pretty cold in our part of the world, they will plateau a little bit in terms of growth rates. So if we can get them good in the autumn, and just sort of then they can cruise through winter a bit and then pick up again in spring. It's just the way it is, because it gets cold and the feed gets a little bit hard. They just get a little bit of a plateau. Might actually be able to show you on a graph this year. Here, Carly, here, back. Show you on a bit of a graph, because I've been weighing these rams consistently, and that weigh indicator will, yeah, it actually shows a graph of their weight gains, and then going from that, you know, we can probably start selecting a bit more rams that have higher growth rates when they're younger, you know, because we sell them at 18 months. There's rams that would have been smaller when they were lambs, and you know, might be one of the biggest at the sale, but that's, you know, that's what are we chasing when we by terminal size, it's that early growth rates, and you know, so ideally one day I'd like to give clients an idea of what they were doing, you know, at 6 and 12 months instead of yeah, righto.
There were good lines of crossbred and Dorpers, while the Merinos remain mixed. The market is selling to a stronger trend. The two-score processing lambs are up $16 to $18, 56 to 116. Trade lambs are 7 to 13 stronger. The 20 to 24 kilos, 140 to 175, an average 6.90 cents. 24 to 26, 164 to 190, or 700 cents on average. The heavyweights, 26 to 30, 180 to 226, and extra heavies are still in demand, 220 to 254.
So it sounds like the lamb market's jumped a bit this week, which is positive, although we've already got some there's a set contract for 650 cents going to tomorrow, but that's all right. We were thinking about sending some from Doughboy on Wednesday, but they're a day. They'll be out of withholding on Thursday, which is annoying because it'd be nice to get them gone, but that's all right. It's the way it is. Dad's just got home from this contract job, so we're just going to unload this seeder, and he's going to drive back and get the tractor and roller, fit them on as well with the truck. So we'll just do that. I bet some of you thought that tractor wouldn't lift that, would you? I didn't think it would either when we did it for the first time, but it's so much easier, especially around our area, not having to try and fit through 14-foot gates and all that sort of rigmarole. Works well. Now, while I'm thinking of it, because as I said, we're sending some lambs tomorrow, so I just got to go and plug the weigh scale indicator in, so I've got plenty of battery, just so I don't have to run another cord tomorrow. Yeah, well, it's actually 3/4 full anyway, but that's all right. It lasts forever, but I thought it was lower than that for some reason. Be really interesting to see, you know, obviously after buying that very expensive product, that machine right there. I think that's one of the first things every farmer should try and afford is a set of scales, just so you know where your sheep are up to, because looking at them in the paddock is just not good enough, unfortunately. So I weigh pretty well every sheep that comes into the yards and gets anything done to them, like drench or anything. I weigh just purely to see how they're tracking. You can keep better eye on your sheep, as well as condition scoring as well. Something I've learnt in a few courses I've been doing is in the importance of that condition scoring and weighing your sheep. But it'll be really interesting to see, obviously weighed these lambs before they went on to crop, and because they don't have EIDs yet, which they are all getting them this year. All our lambs will get EID tags this year. These ones didn't have it, so I've only just got an average of the mob, but it'll still be interesting to see. I'll weigh them all and we'll be able to see pretty well exactly what they've done, how many grams per day and all that sort of jazz. I don't know, I nerd out on that a little bit, I suppose. It's something I'm a bit interested in just, you know, sheep performance and how the sheep are tracking. So as you might be able to tell, the wind has died off, but what is the time? It's 4 o'clock now, and by the time I go home and get the tractor and sprayer and get back out here, I think we're going to be too late, because it gets dark at 5:30 now, so the dew will come in and it won't get a chance to take up the chemical, I don't think, before it gets dark. Might have to try and do it tomorrow at some point. Anyway, that's alright. What do you reckon? But anyway guys, I'm just got to load 10 bales of pasture onto the truck. I just got to take it to a place literally 5 minutes away next door first thing in the morning, so I'm just going to load them up now, make it easier tomorrow. But I hope you enjoyed that one. I think I'm going to leave it there. I feel like I've done a lot of talking today, so probably good. I hope it was still interesting. But yeah, with that one, hope you enjoyed it, and we'll catch you in the next one. Alrighty, see ya, bye. That's what you want after dark. You can see machinery. we're in luck.